tragedy of Hamlet clings to this medieval Danish castle, staring moodily out to sea. A grim gray relic of an age long past, Kronborg Castle was chosen by Shakespeare himself as the setting for what may well be the greatest play ever written. Just as the castle with its chiseled grandeur was real, so too was the melancholy Hamlet. For Shakespeare's play is adapted from the old story of Amleth, first set down in the 12th century by a Danish historian. And here, at what has come to be called Hamlet's Castle, the legend lives on. For Danish children, the fortress is a place of pilgrimage. Their imaginations can retreat through the ages until they seem almost to be in the world of the moody Hamlet, the fair Ophelia, the weak Queen Gertrude, and the evil King Claudius. The words of Shakespeare, though 350 years old, come alive as the young visitors pass the castle's great ordnance guns. Their barrels, which once boomed royal salutes, will roar again, sweeping us into the past. To a castle where Hamlet, plagued with indecision, walks lonely, musing, to be or not to be, that is the question. Whether 'tis nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to take arms against a sea of troubles, and by opposing end them. To die, to sleep, no more, and by a sleep to say we end the heartache and the 1,000 natural shocks that flesh is heir to. 'Tis a consummation devoutly to be wished, to die, to sleep, perchance to dream. Aye, there's the rub. For in that sleep of death, what dreams may come when we have shuffled off this mortal coil, must give us pause. The undiscovered country from whose bourne no traveler returns puzzles the will and makes us rather bear those ills we have than fly to others that we know not of. Thus conscience doth make cowards of us all, and thus the native hue of resolution is sicklied o'er with a pale cast of thought, and enterprises of great pitch and moment with this regard their currents turn awry and lose the name of action. The ballroom, which now echoes with emptiness, was once the castle's theater. In England, Shakespeare's plays were performed before Queen Elizabeth. The women's parts were played by boys. Shakespeare often watched from the sidelines. His philosophy of acting is expressed in Hamlet's advice to his players. Speak the speech, I pray you, as I pronounced it to you, trippingly on the tongue. But if you mouth it, as many of your players do, I had as lief the town crier spoke my lines. Nor do not saw the air too much with your hand, but use all gently. Be not too tame neither, but let your own discretion be your tutor. Suit the action to the word to the action, with this special observance, that you o'erstep not the modesty of nature. For anything so overdone departs from the purpose of playing, whose end, both at the first and now, was and is, to hold as 'twere the mirror up to nature. Shakespeare, whose works were to live forever, pondered man's mortality. Alas, poor Yorick, I knew him, Horatio, a fellow of infinite jest, of most excellent fancy. He hath borne me on his back 1,000 times. Where be your jibes now, your songs, your flashes of merriment? And this was Shakespeare's own farewell to Hamlet. Now cracks a noble heart. Good night, sweet prince, and flights of angels sing thee to thy rest.